There are a few ways of crocheting these branches with berries, and I will show you how to make these two ways of crocheting. I purposely took thick yarn and thicker hook that you could see every little detail how to make this. So make chain, and the length depends what you really want. 5, 6 or 7 stitches at the beginning, and we will make chain of 3 for the puff stitch, because each berry is a puff stitch. Yarn over and insert hook into the stitch 1, 2, 3, 4, fourth stitch from the hook. So you can start from here, counting 1, 2, 3, 4 into the fourth stitch, and pull thread through. Pull it through to the height of the chain. So I count the yarn over and stretch stitch as 1. 1, again 2, and one more time 3. You can do it up to 5 times, depends on the thickness of your thread or yarn. It all depends on that, because if you're right now using, like I use really thick thread, almost bulky, if I will make 5 stitches, or it will be 10, then it will be too puffy. So we have here, if we will count every yarn over and stitch, it will be 6 stitches plus stitch from the chain, 7. So first we will crochet first 6 together, pulling thread through all 6. Then you have those 2 stitches on the hook and crochet them together as one. Again, chain 3, insert hook into the same stitch and make slip stitch. So here's your first puff stitch, your first berry, if you want to call it a berry. Now again we'll make chain 1, 2, 3, yarn over, hook in the same stitch as before, and pull it through, stretch the thread, yarn over and the stitch at the same height as your chain, and do it 3 times. 2 and 3. Now it's all stretched, the same height. Pull thread through all 6 stitches on the hook and then through 2 stitches. Make chain of 3 stitches and slip stitch into the same stitch between the puff stitches. Right inside, right here in the same stitch. Slip stitch, and now we have that our work turned upside down. We need to turn it back like this. We have thread on the back of our work right here. The stitch that you just finished, slip stitch in front. Insert hook right in the middle between 2 puff stitches. And make slip stitch. Make sure it's tight. So now we have 2 puff stitches. So this is one method of making it. Now I will show you the second method. Let's make chain. And the chain between set of stitches, of puff stitches, set of 2, can be from 2 to 5 stitches long, can be even more, depends what you want, depends how you want your branch to look like. So let's make 5 stitches, have 5 stitches chain. Then I always, before I start, put my finger right at the last stitch when I make this method, but right here, right now, it's not really important. For the first actually puff stitch it will be important, so let's hold this stitch with the finger, make chain 3, and first puff stitch, the same way as we were doing it before. 1, 2, 3. Pull thread through all stitches, then through last 2, make chain 3, and instead of going into the same stitch and make a slip stitch, we will move our hook around chain itself, and secure this to the main chain with single crochet stitch, like this. Again, this time we'll make second berry or second puff stitch, make 4, chain of 4. So first stitch, this is where we will make our next puff stitch, and 3 stitches, it's a height. So again, making puff stitch and making it in this first stitch. 1, 2, and 3. Now make 3, 1, 2, 3, chain 3, and this time hook again, not inside here, but around, right behind the chain, and make single crochet stitch to secure the puff stitch in place, like this. Again, this thread is right in here, we'll move it to the back, turning our work like that. So your thread right here behind, insert hook between both puff stitches and make a slip stitch, secure all this together and make chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or whatever you need. So this is another second second method of making the branch with puff stitches.